How you doing today, folks? So I have yet another unboxing. In case you haven't noticed, kind of a trend on this channel. So we got the Paragon Knives Warlock to unbox it. And this thing is covered in tape, so this might be a pain in the ass. Not even sure where to start. So let's just dive straight in and hope for the best. Okay, it wasn't too bad. Trying out a new background. So far, not really so good. But trying to make something a little bit more cleaner. Probably gonna have to go back to the drawing board on that one because I keep sliding around. But yep. Alright, so I'm really not sure what this is. But it's big and it's heavy. And oh, it's a ZT. Alright, well I just unboxed the 0560. And definitely a fan of that. This is good too. Heavier, not quite as good ergos as the other one. This is the 0200. This is a long discontinued model. Not quite as smooth on the drop shut by any stretch of the imagination. Can't really deploy with the thumb studs without using a little bit of wrist. Can use it a little bit with the thumb flick. But again, I keep using wrist. I'm so used to using wrist for everything. Yeah, it stopped right there. Might just need a little bit of practice. That ZT0560 flicks like an absolute dream. It almost feels assisted. So, yeah, that might need a push button. Nope. A little bit of wrist. Alright. That's unfortunate, but that's just kind of one of those things. This is a 154 CM Ken Onion design. As anybody who watches my channel knows, I'm a big fan of 154 CM, so that on a nice big beefy ZT, ooh, I'm happy. The recurve, less happy. But man, at least it's a recurve on 154 CM, so I mean I can sharpen that out pretty easily if I need to. This is a liner lock. Pretty aggressive jimping right there. Nothing too bad, but you can definitely feel it. Also want to put one thing too. I don't know if you notice how chewed up my thumb is. That's an old burn, but that's all from the ZT0550. They did some really aggressive jimping on the lock bar, and it's just ripping me apart. So I can't even really tell if this is too aggressive on the jimping for the liner lock. So I'm just going to say that it feels aggressive, but it very well might not be. My thumb might just be completely destroyed. But ergonomics for my 2XL size hands are very good. Wish it was a little bit longer. I feel kind of cramped up right here. This kind of hump just doesn't sit quite right. I feel like I'm a little too close to the edge. But again, you can by all means hold it. It isn't a problem. It's definitely a bigger knife. From what I recall, this is a 4.7 inch, 7.5 inch blade. This is a 9-ounce knife. So that's cool for me because I like heavy things. So I'd have to imagine these big, thick liners, even though there's clearly some weight relieving done here, are steel, because titanium wouldn't be anywhere near that bad. Nice chunky standoffs, good flow through the construction. I'm kind of a bigger fan of the closed back construction. That's more just an idealistic style choice than anything else. So that doesn't really mean anything one way or the other. I could have sworn this knife was assisted, but maybe that's something different, or maybe it's been de-assisted, and that's why it just doesn't drop. I would figure it would just fly out on the assist, but it doesn't. So it's probably been since de-assisted, and yeah. So it doesn't have that drop shut, but can always adjust the pivot. It's kind of proprietary. Either that or it's, I'm not really sure what that is. That might be a pain in the ass to adjust. All right, probably put some KPL on it and a few other things and see how it goes. All right, a few size comparisons. We have the Benchmade full-size Griptilian. Definitely bigger than the Griptilian, change the aspect ratio. So quite a bit of a longer handle, longer blade, way fatter. These scales are heavily contoured. Nice big chunky piece, which I definitely understand is not everyone's cup of tea, but I by all means love a big knife. And that's mine, and you could just give me that. Size comparison, the XM18. Definitely smaller than the XM18. It's really kind of crazy on camera how much the aspect ratio or the change of aspect affects it. Because this is it's definitely smaller than the XM18 by a pretty decent amount. You can kind of tell when it's like this. And as soon as you drop it down to the bottom, man, it looks bigger. Looks like it's right on par with the XM18, which it's just not. So changing that aspect ratio is by all means necessary for any type of effective size comparison. PM2, definitely smaller than the definitely bigger than the PM2. Got about a half an inch in this little butt right here. Probably just under a quarter for the blade. But again, change the aspect ratio and it looks almost identical. And again, show you the difference in thickness. This is definitely a very thick knife. Now, this has been discontinued for a long time, actually. You can find them. They're normally pretty expensive. This is just the blacked out version, which isn't really my style, but the only other options are a green with tiger stripe finish on the blade and a black with tiger stripe finish on the blade, which I also don't like. So with this, probably just going to send it off, get it stone washed, get this coating stripped off of it. I don't plan on ever really selling this. Got this for a really good deal for what it is. Definitely appreciate the man for working with me on price. I can't afford to keep spending $400 or $500 on knives all day long. I will go broke. It'll take a while, but I'll go broke. So, yeah, man. Definitely a fan. As far as the first impression goes, I definitely like it. It does have some hot spots. It's a little unfortunate with this little wave here. You know, something I wish more designers would understand, that whenever you add something like this, it's either going to fit one person's hand like an absolute glove, or it's going to cause a hot spot and be an issue. You know, as soon as you add this here, you significantly reduce your market audience or your target audience. And while I really like this, it's just not comfortable. I'll still carry it. I love the weight, the heft, the feel of it. But man, like as soon as I try to bear down at all, it's just an immediate hot spot. You can actually see where it's already cutting into my hand. Yeah. So definitely not a home run by ZT. Might have been why it was discontinued. But on my ever-present search for big, hefty, full-size, weighty knives that fit my ergos and everything else, I had to check this one off. I don't see me selling this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to modify it, possibly heavily, and just make it into my own little thing. But I definitely like what's here. So, as always, if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. I'm a very small channel, helps me out a great deal. Any questions, concerns, if you want to purchase something, this is not going to be up for sale, but majority of things on my content, besides the Kapara, the 0560, and now the 0200, are not for sale. Currently working on a, I think it's 0300 KW, which is a knife work exclusive with a nice stone-washed blade. Really looking forward to that. Finding that's been a bit of a nightmare, but pretty patient person, and I'll get it done eventually. So, please like, subscribe, comment below. I will always respond to you. I'm very active in the comment section. This is the part of the video where I kind of ramble, so I'm sorry about that. A smart man would just cut it here and save the humiliation, but to quote Nick Shabazz, I am not a smart man. But as always, I love you all. This is again purchased from Secondary Market. This one is purchased through Facebook. If I remember correctly, it was the knife selling EDC exchange or something like that. But yep. As always, through Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, any number of other secondary markets, including Blade forums. Always look for timestamps. Always just try to judge the character, whoever you're speaking with. And for the most part, you'll be just fine. The guy I bought this off of seems like a pretty good guy. I blocked everything out because this is YouTube, you know, but Brett is his name. Good guy. I appreciate you, Brett. This is definitely a beauty. I will keep it around for a long, long time. Does have a few problems, but most knives do, and these ones aren't quite enough to bother me. So, as always, have a great day. Be nice to one another. Take care, and I love you all. Bye-bye.